I recently had some comments that were posted that um, made me reflect on some of the misconceptions that people have. And the comments were essentially the ones that you hear um, a lot of times directed at criminal defense lawyers is how could you represent somebody like that? And in specific cases, how could you get somebody off or let somebody off? Uh, there's a long answer and there's a short answer. And the short answer is that that's our job and that's the function of a criminal defense lawyer in our system of justice. There's a much longer answer in it, and it really involves several things. One of them is asking the alternative question. If you're mad at the way a particular case was handled, what's the alternative? Do you really think that the system works by a lawyer going in and essentially rolling over or agreeing with whatever the prosecutor wants to do? If that's the case, there really isn't any need to have criminal defense lawyers in the first place. You might as well just have somebody go in and deal with the prosecutor and take whatever they want. And what's really sometimes irritating about that is that the same people that make those comments would be the first to insist on a vigorous defense and want a lawyer to do everything they could to represent them and make sure that their case was handled fairly. And that's really the job of a criminal defense lawyer, is to ensure that your case is handled fairly in according to the rules of law. If somebody gets off, or at least what you think gets off, it's not the fault of the criminal defense lawyer if you want to place blame. It's the fault of the prosecutor who maybe didn't present a case. It's the fault of the police who didn't investigate the case. But there's more blame that can be put on the criminal defense lawyer. So really comments like that are mostly made by people that are upset with the way particular cases are handled. And those same people are usually upset with just life in general, in things that they don't have control over. But whenever you hear those comments, give some thought to what's the alternative. And the alternative is a situation that exists in many countries where if you're arrested or you're pulled in for questioning, you're going to have happen to you whatever's going to have happened to you. There's not an advocate that can come in and make sure that you're treated fairly, that if they're trying to prove you did something, that they actually have to prove it, and that you don't have to prove your innocence. We have a great, wonderful system of justice, but it only works if everybody does their part. And that means the police investigating properly, the district or the prosecutors handling their case properly, the judges being fair, and criminal defense lawyers making sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do.